AV SuperFriends on Topic is an independent production wholly owned and operated by AV SuperFriends, LLC. For the highest quality recording of all of our shows, visit avsuperfriends.com. This is AV SuperFriends on Topic, a 30-minute monthly roundtable focused on a single topic. This discussion will be opinionated, to the point, and saturated with our well-known blend of painfully won expertise and deeply ingrained immaturity. For August 2025, it's the best sounding and most technically focused podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends on Topic, episode number 61. Changing up stuff here. Broadcasting
really
live
focused
across 3 time zones from coast to coast, easternmost to westernmost, northernmost to southernmost, gatepost to hitching host. I'm your local host who can boast the most milquetoast and utmost humility. I'm Chris Texter. Time for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure.
We brought that one
let's
back?
say, what? It's just whatever's listed here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a classic. Stop interrupting.
It's 3 time zones because we cut out the western one today.
No, we brought back the milk toast.
Oh, got it.
That too.
Milk toast is still weird.
Mark is technically in the central or mountain time zone right now, so
Playing bowling or something.
doing something else. Anyway, let's say hello to today's panel of AV SuperFriends.
Oh, right.
This one here. So today I'm joined by a lead signal path integrity strategist from Kansas City. Say hello to Mr. Jamie Reinhardt.
I'm just planning them out, man. Just planning them out.
Also joined by an AV compliance validation evangelist from Greensboro, North Carolina. Say hello to Larry Darling.
Yep, I'm validating that everyone does the right thing all the time.
I like evangelist. That's a good one.
Also joined by our Vice President of Button Press Continuity from Bowling Green, Kentucky, Mr. Justin Rexing.
I kind of like this. Sounds like super easy, kind of like bagging groceries, very mundane. Just turn the brain off and just do your work and go home.
But
Just
you
press the
shaved the
button.
buttons off. How are you?
I didn't. The other IT guy did.
Continuity.
Well, I guess, as long as the buttons were being pressed.
It just seems like
Normal
a really
way?
easy job that doesn't require a lot of accountability, no responsibility. Take the paycheck, go home, open a
Just
beer,
push a button.
relax.
Just
So
push the button.
you're describing a lot of what people do, Justin.
Yeah.
Have a whole
That
lot.
sounds like the dream.
So in today's show, we're going to discuss testing equipment, bench testing, kind of the how much work are we actually doing on like doing a full, robust due diligence, or are we just throwing gear at new rooms and seeing what happens? Or throwing new gear at rooms, or throwing old gear at new rooms, whatever. Are we just pulling stuff off the shelf, throwing in all that fun stuff? But first, before we
All
talk
of it.
about that, let's do some housekeeping. So first of all, if you are listening to this as a recorded MP3, we stream live on Fridays at about 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, or whenever we get our act together. If you're listening to this right now, we're streaming live. It's amazing how that works. You can join us live on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and other platforms when they get off their butts and actually do it. If you can't join us live, we still want you to connect with us on those same socials. So follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Blue Sky, and all that fun stuff to see what we're up to, what we're doing, and all our newest episodes. And you can share that out to the people that also don't like to follow your annoying stuff, too. Please don't forget to spread the word. Please share this podcast with your friends, colleagues, enemies, perfect strangers, and anyone else who might enjoy it. If you could tackle people in public and hold them down and give them a noogie until they cough up their phone and then you can subscribe, that would be great.
What about a swirly?
Swirly works well, too. It's summer, so let's switch to that. If you could go out in public, tackle people, drag them to the nearest water source, hold them underwater until they subscribe, then we're good to go. If you want to support this nonsense, please consider donating. Your contributions help to keep us bringing you the honest content that you love or love to hate. I do hear from people that this is a hate listen, which is fine because it's legit feedback. So it may not be everything, may not always be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. You can find that donation link in our show notes or on the website, all sorts of fun places, or click this thing right there. And we do want to hear from you. So if there's a topic you'd like us to cover, or if you really like to just yell at us about how wrong we were about something, or if you want to vehemently agree with us, send us an email or comment on social media. Email is mailbag@avsuperfriends.com, and we get tons of stuff into there. And hit us up on the same socials. And finally, whatever platform you're on right now, please go in and leave a rating and review. That bumps it up in the algorithms and forces other people to get exposed to our nonsense, making other people have to deal with skipping past this episode. All right.
I'm kind of bummed that people hate listen us.
You don't have hate listens?
I can see that.
Listens.
I figured we'd have more of that than...
I may get emails that said, we didn't like what you said.
You got
get
them?
those.
Yes. He was talking
Yes.
about it for the last week.
I post them.
Where?
I share them.
It's in the notes.
With who?
It's in
You.
Discord.
With you, Justin.
But
It goes to that email you
which
don't read.
Justin? I'm getting my emails. I see.
Yes, just like the one you brought up today that came in last week.
So occasionally,
I read that
think
one.
people
Just
are
forgot
yelling
about
at
it.
us. Yeah, I think they do
That's
yell
different.
at us.
All right. So now that that's all said and done, what are we talking about? Oh, wait, we're going to take a quick break. Ooh.
Oh, we're breaking?
Ooh.
I feel
got the
like
wrong
we
one.
haven't started yet.
Do you guys want the 2.5-minute version of this or the 60-second version?
60
second.
So 2.5 is what I heard.
Shit.
I'm all in.
You want to do it?
Do
Why
it.
not? Screw it. Let's do the 2.5-minute version. Everyone loves it. I put the wrong one in here.
Get ready to plug in and rock out at the most electrifying event of this summer. It's time for Widget Fest, the ultimate celebration of audiovisual innovation. Join us for 3 days of non-stop excitement where the biggest names in commercial presentation electronics take the stage and showcase the latest and greatest in adapters and widgets. Widget Fest! From HDMI to USB-C, from balanced to unbalanced, from SDI to RGB, HV, and everything in between. Widget Fest has got you covered, a massive venue filled with cutting-edge technology and electrifying performances. Feel the energy as the biggest names in the industry come together to unveil the latest adapters, converters, and widgets live on stage. Widget Fest! Immerse yourself in a world of audiovisual wonders with interactive exhibits, hands-on demos, and exclusive product launches. Whether you're a tech enthusiast, a professional in the field, or just someone who loves to stay ahead of the curve, Widget Fest is the place to be. Widget Fest! But that's not all. Widget Fest isn't just about gadgets and gizmos. It's also about the experience. Enjoy delicious food from gourmet vendors, refreshing drinks, connect with fellow tech enthusiasts from around the globe, and dive for loose change in the world's second largest playpen ball pit. It's a weekend you'll never forget. Widget Fest! So mark your calendars and get ready to experience the future of audiovisual technology at Widget Fest 2024. Tickets are selling fast, so don't miss your chance to be part of the excitement. Get ready to plug in, turn up the volume, and join us for the ultimate celebration of adapters and widgets. Widget Fest, coming soon. Widget Fest.
I haven't heard that whole thing in a long time.
Totally
Oh, I forgot.
worth it.
I forgot we were doing a show.
Yeah, I didn't know
I
there
thought I was
was a
listening
whole
to
thing.
Pandora for a second. I was just...
You forgot all about the world's second largest playpen ball pit.
You know,
was just
Independent
kinda-
Amalgamated is going to have to actually put together Widget Fest at some point.
That sounds
God,
like a
thing's
lot of work.
That's like 3 years old. I need to... All right. So,
Speaking of widgets,
speaking of widgets, hold on. I got this one. I can't remember to use it. So we're going to go to our topic of the month.
The topic of the month. Stay on topic.
There you go. All right. So the topic of the month is testing gear. Are we legitimately doing that? Because you always hear. I'll phrase it this way. You always hear from best practices. Oh yeah, we test everything. We put this.
You
on
don't
the
test
network.
everything.
We set it.
You don't test
No,
everything.
best practice. You do, sir. And if you hire an integrator, they always talk about all the time. They spend testing all your gear, and you know that's a bunch of horse shit because then they show up and it doesn't
they
work on the
put it
network.
all together in the warehouse.
We built your whole system. Oh wait, it didn't work. Which, by the way, as somebody who doesn't have a standing rack in any classrooms, when integrators say they're going to pre-wire stuff, I'm like, how? It just lives in there. There's like 4 things. So, cracks me up.
I do that every classroom, but
I enjoy we put it all together ahead of time as we took it out of the fresh box and put it together for you.
Still running firmware 1.0. Yeah, we tested everything. Sure. Mm-hmm. All right. So what is our approach to bench testing? Are we doing proper bench testing? Are we lying to people? Are we testing some things and not others? Are the things we're just comfortable with? Be like, yeah, it should probably work. We'll just do that. Or are we doing the ever popular method of like, it should probably do it based on what it says in the specs. We'll just go install it and see how it does.
That
All
sounds
of
like
the
what I
above.
do. Yeah, and that's everything.
All right then. Well, thanks for the show. We'll be out of here and talk to you next month.
And I think it depends on what you're meaning, like, because in that long diatribe, like my standard classroom systems, yes, I do have them pre-built, tested, programmed, ready to roll out. Come middle of April, they are already built and ready to go. However,
That sounds incredibly boring.
it is, but that means our summer installs go really fast. But like the new products, the stuff that we're trying out in spaces,
The actual interesting stuff.
yeah, like not the standards. I want to try this new device. It depends. Like if it's just a new camera or something like that, who cares? I'm just going to read the specs and put it in. But if it's something that changes the way the system works,
What if it's a new AI camera that only works in the cloud?
that changes the way the system works. That's going to be tested first, and that's going to. And it's hard to test those in an actual not the real environment. So
That was the largest nonverbal hedge I've ever heard.
I know, like stuff like that, it's just hard to do outside. But like the Extron UCS 303, like I tested that here before I rolled it out to the first conference room just to make sure it did what it said it was going to do.
And when you
We
say
rolled
you
it right
tested it,
back.
Yeah, I did that
what
too.
was your process for testing it? Did you put it in a fully built out environment, or did you plug it in on your desk and try two
Like,
monitors?
oh, look, a green light. We're good.
We have a sandbox little conference room.
You do?
We do because the area
Is that
we
your
took
office
over.
behind you?
No,
No.
actually, it's down the way there. The
Take the camera
area
down
we
there right
took
now.
over used to be a cube farm. Before COVID hit, we took most of the cubes out, and part of that cube farm, they had their own conference room. And so we've unwired that thing, and like it's a half working system at this point, but we will throw equipment in there to test it out. And that's one of the pieces. Like when we get something like that, the Neat Bar Pro, things that sound like, hey, this might solve an actual problem I have, but I want to experience it first. We will throw stuff in there and use it for a couple of weeks just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do not, or very rarely, bench test systems. The only time I would do such a thing is, for instance, if, like the first time I buy a QSys, right? Never use QSys as a control platform with touch panels and the works. So yes, I will pre-purchase one of those with a kit that I think it's going to work with and bench test an entire system, and then usually deploy it in a place that's who the owners, the clients, would be very patient with the new, strategically placed. But I don't. That's rare. I mean, because how many times you like have a platform change? I guess that's what I'm talking about. A platform change.
I'm on my third. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, but it's not like your third this month, right? Okay,
No.
You might be. Most of us. But for pieces of gear, there's a lot of times where it's if the camera's spec says it works, fine, put it in. Now, every now and then, since I put a lot of like AV over IP stuff on the network, I will bring it in and I will test it in siloed on an island network just to make sure that it's going to work in some way, or what are its deficiencies. And now it's a controlled environment. I get to control what the network switch is. I get to control where the endpoints go. And then I will unplug it from that thing and plug it into the wall and see what the hell happens. So, sometimes I get a phone call like, hey, dude, what did you just do?
Remember when we did that with an old DSP and we set up the VoIP card on it, just plugged it right into the wall?
Yeah.
It started ringing from China. Like, yeah, this is...
No, actually what we did is we cloned the IP and MAC of the Cisco phone that was sitting there.
Oh, that was smart.
Plugged that in so it got on the network.
Oh, it got on.
We got that call pretty quick. Like, what the hell was that?
We just saw, we went from 10% utilization on that switch to 100, and it gave us a warning. Well, or the accidental, rapid spanning tree when you put in your first DM chassis. Like, I
just want to make sure everybody can share the love.
You're not supposed to plug that many network ports in. But I don't bench test nearly as much. And even when I don't demo gear often either. Speaking of, I kind of put these hand in hand to get a demo piece of equipment to bench test. I don't demo very often. I just buy the
problem
damn
with
thing.
that is you have limited time because I always want it back within 30 days and you have to commit, and
I wait till they start sending me invoices sometimes.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
why
kind
I
of
don't
a
do that
hassle to
anymore.
get it in the first place. Because at my school, you have to get like the credit card and everything else just to get some of the equipment. So it's
So
we don't do a lot of that bench testing stuff. Our projects are bench test in themselves. So I'll just be honest. Not everything's perfect. Everybody has their flaws, and
whoa.
So
speak for yourself.
We do bench testing randomly. So, kind of like what Jamie said, if you go from like Crestron to QSYS, something like that, or QSYS
that's not
to
a random
Extron,
change.
That's a random change. One
Just
time,
updated his bill of materials.
like during COVID, we were trying to figure out what button panels could work with what HD base T transmitters to be able to plug the HD base T into the projector and still get it to turn on and off. Like, we know we can send it video, but can we control it without breaking it back out to HDMI and 232 and LAN? So we were experimenting some wild stuff during COVID with that because we had to find new products and we wanted to stick with our standard. We didn't want, what our support team calls skyboxes in the ceiling to support. So we're trying to figure out
what's a skybox?
RMC 100, box to break out HDMI from HD base T.
Boxes
They
in the
call them
ceiling.
skyboxes
You
because
mean
they're in the sky.
they didn't want a secret hidden widget up there somewhere?
Yeah. So I have to design around a lot of support and install things as well as meet the client's needs. So we did some of that. We benchmarked Zoomer, and this is why I don't believe in testing everything, because number one, you're probably wasting your time. Number two, when you do test something, do you have parameters and metrics around that? Mm-hmm. Does it have to work for a day, a week, an hour? Like, what is working? How do you define that? We tested full blown the Zoom room situation, putting Dante microphones on the network with no configuration on the network. And what happened? It worked. And that shit worked for almost a year. And then all of a sudden, for 2 or 3 buildings. And then I was the guy going, this is not going to work. And they were like, look, it's working. I'm like,
just wait.
One of these, just wait. It works until it doesn't. And sure enough, like 8 months in, 7 months in, I don't know. Something like that.
Now we're down to 7 months.
Almost. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a while.
The next day.
20 minutes.
It started blowing up buildings. We're like, we bench tested this. It worked and it worked. I'm like,
that was last month when we blew up buildings.
Guys, you bench tested it during COVID with an empty building where there was no network traffic at all because it was our South Campus. Like, that's a different network than deploying it in the semester in a active building with students and more there's a lot to bench testing. It's like, what goals are you after? What are you trying to prove during the bench test? Sometimes it's just not worth it, especially if you're not. Now, if you're deploying, if I deployed 30 rooms at a time and I introduced a new widget, I would probably buy that widget and test it. But we never do that because of how we're funded. Everything that we do is very reactive, and we get a project request. And so if a new product comes out and I'm like, you know what? if this fails, I got a spare widget on the shelf that I know works that is not this. So let's just try this new part in there and see what happens. And I'll be honest, I'm doing this with the Zilliqa DSP. I'm not telling my installers and programmers about it. I said, okay, we have a perfect opportunity in there. We're going to sneak this little thing in here. We got a perfect opportunity.
What's this? What's this paperweight?
Yeah. It's like they're going to get this. They're like, what the hell is this? Like, don't worry. It's open architecture. Just play with it.
Mind your business.
Well, we got to get this room working. Guys are smart.
Yes,
They're smart. They can figure it out. They really are good. And they probably get pissed off about it, but there's reasons. I don't do it just to piss them off. There's reasons like, hey, this saves money. This could be efficient. This could save time. If it works this one time, we'll keep doing it. We've done that before. And sometimes I get a lot of bench testing from you jokers. I know that Mark, I'll pick on Mark because he's not here. He was getting some kind of a Tarot Tech widget that did some USB stuff during COVID and they started blowing up. And I was like, and everybody was talking good about it. I'm like, oh, I'll buy 5 or 6 of them. So I bought 5 or 6 and you guys started going, oh my God, so we stopped buying them. We never had any blow up, but I used you all's bench testing. So I only made that mistake 5 times and Mark made it 30.
Well, yeah, the issue with that particular product, something in the manufacturing line, they had problematic capacitors on the PoE power circuits, and the PoE power circuits would fail. And if you powered them locally, they would then work, but it was a whole thing. So during COVID, that's not what you want to deal with.
So I have a weird, I don't know, maybe it's not so weird, but I feel like I have a weird approach to bench testing and what triggers me to bench test, because I also understand that my team has limited time and we also have limited money and our credit cards are hard to use right now because they're they're like overwatched by everybody. And to get a piece of equipment to test that's over $1,000, that's like an act of God right now.
Wait, you mean to buy one or to
buy one just to test and like have it and like, hey, and like, we're not going to test TVs and projectors and we're not going to really test cameras. We don't have the space or money for that.
I've started testing displays.
So why?
Well, and I'll explain. Because they lie about their capabilities. Oh, it has a LAN port. What's that LAN port actually do?
I only buy one of those once and then you don't buy it anymore. It's like,
or I get a demo and give it a full shakedown and run the program to it and all the rest to find out that multiple manufacturers are straight up lying about that LAN port. Well, yes, it's on there, but that's not what it does. And then you finally either get stuff back from their support group and like, oh, yeah, it doesn't do that.
See, that's why we just like, oh, screw it. We're just going to use CC for control in this one. We're just not buying that TV anymore. Move on. And it works. And then nobody knows. And then you mitigate. The guys we work around are pretty smart. They got ways around things.
Yeah, and what you described is the exact reason I'll never buy a Samsung again. But, there's that.
There you go. But I've done bench testing. That's the bench testing we do. It's like,
I've been burnt recently with monitors where they're 4K displays because that's what you can buy now. But when you send a 1080p image to them, it looks like crap because the internal processing of the monitor just doesn't handle it very well.
Interesting.
And that's something that I feel like I need to figure out how to test, but I can't test every TV. And I find out once the project's done and I'm looking at the screen going,
you just don't buy that anymore. You're just exactly. It's not...
those
are always going to happen.
A number of, Larry, you said you do 250 rooms every summer by the time, April rolls around. If you buy a whole bunch of these, you're kind of stuck, right?
I don't do that many, but yeah, and I don't use displays in those spaces.
But I've had that happen with projectors and displays before, but sometimes what you purchase isn't what they're actually shipping.
Or they read
that's a different problem.
The firmware software update in the back end, where I had purchased one model of this display and it showed up and it was a dumb monitor and worked exactly how I wanted to, exact same part number. The next 3 months later came and it had an Android front end, did not work the way the other one did, and they're the same damn screen. And when you call them, they're like, oh yeah, you didn't want that?
You got upgraded.
No. Yes, right? You got upgraded. You got the newest version.
There hasn't been one situation where we didn't bench test that we could fix or work around the issue and get by, and it didn't hurt us or kill us on time or money.
I bench test things that I already doubt I already...
Or you have questions about like, yeah, this shit ain't going to work. I'll test it.
Like,
but
I think this could be my answer. This could be the exact same thing I'm looking for. It has all the spec sheet says it has everything it needs. You read the manual. It's incomplete usually, but it says it does everything I need. And that's the thing that I will bench test because my expectation is it may not work.
Or sometimes, I think I've heard Chris say this before, is you deploy it in the field and you're like, this is supposed to do this. You call them up and they have to write a new firmware or update something. And then, so, I mean, that gets into a little bit of bench testing.
Or they send
too.
you the link to the secret firmware.
The unreleased firmware.
Yeah. It has all those features. Oh, yeah, we have those features. It's just not the one you can get from the website. So, by the way, manufacturers, stop doing that. It's fine if you put it on the website and say, this was published out last week and it says beta. That's fine. I will accept that responsibility, but don't make me call in to or email or whatever support contact to get access to that.
I think if I was to deploy a new product that I haven't tested that I was nervous about in more than 5 rooms, definitely more than 10 rooms, I start to get nervous. If I'm doing it 5 or less, roll those dice. Who cares? Let's see what happens.
Depends where those rooms are.
Your go big or go home attitude to that. I'm going to buy 30 and see what happens.
No, I can't. When you're doing 20, 30 rooms, like I start to get nervous. Like, no, we need to buy one of these, and
I've done that though.
I can't make 30 mistakes.
But that's a product that I typically would trust and be like, look, they're going to hit that 90% mark. I'm good to go. Like to Larry's point, like when I'm playing a lot of Extron like DTP things, I'm like, oh, okay, so DTP 3. It's
that's the
work.
Point. Like people, like IT says, well, you have to test every new product. Like this is just a new model number because it'll be fine and it should work out. It's not gonna.
Question on this is a clarification. As Justin was talking, he was like, "Well, we tested HD-based T devices, and can you embed control?" And
we were doing some weird shit, so we had to test.
So I do weird shit a lot, right?
Yeah,
but that's like my playtime. Testing, playing, like, oh, this says that you can do these things.
Playtime is useful.
Like, do you consider that bench testing? So if I test 5 different versions of the $99 HD-based T thing, and I wanted to see which one actually embedded control, so that it's a one solution to the projector.
Yes.
But I'm just jacking around just because, it says it could. I'm going to play.
You have a goal. I mean, it's not jack. I mean,
But I don't think I've ever deployed. Well, okay, that's a lie.
See?
I've got more buttons and weird things in the background.
Yeah.
But do you consider that bench testing? I think that's
playtime. That's exactly what we did. That was bench testing, yes.
It's the definition of bench testing. You have all these items on your bench. Yeah. You're seeing which one works.
Yeah, but I'm just playing around. I have no goal for these things.
Just because
but then you
think you're playing around doesn't mean it's not bench testing. Like those things can both be true.
Because at first I was like, I don't bench test very often because I consider it like you're bench testing this thing to do, like you're going to deploy it in 100 spaces. And for me, that clarifies this a little bit because I bench test all the time because I'm always doing weird crap
usually
like that.
It's testing to see how something behaves, how it behaves on my network, or how it behaves with my gear, or how it behaves. To your point, Jamie, does this do what I think it should do, and is that useful to me or not? Like, for example, I have one that's on my desk literally right now, not this desk, but 6 miles away. There's a desk, the other desk, which is a HD-based T transmitter that does USB-C and HDMI with outboard USB. And so it does true USB-C, or does it, and that's what I'm testing, to a receiver then, so you can dump in USB devices. You get the USB transport, you get the your audio and video and network and all that fun stuff over it, but I want to see how well does this actually respond, because I'm just going to start plugging a bunch of devices in and seeing what happens, because is that going to lock up, or is that going to work well, and we've got a good solution. So
you need to tell us about that at some point.
Yeah, I will say, after thinking about it with my business, and we do maybe a little bit more testing than I realized, because my entire house is a bench test of weird shit. So like I've got NDI, AV over IP, Dante, and on a flat network running 3 managed switches. And there's a lot of things that I was doing just to see if I could break it, because.
And you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I broke it a few times, but it got to a point where, hey, this is solid. I'm going to start deploying it. And I did. But I don't have that capability, the ease of capability of getting that done at WKU because of the money and the buy-in and people's time. And
To that exact point about location, where do we do this? Or is this testing we're doing, in your case, at home, in your home office?
And that only goes so far because you're not on an enterprise network.
Are we doing this at work in a limited environment? Are we doing this in a dedicated, Larry said you have a dedicated sandbox space for this?
We have one.
Or are you doing this as part of a project and just saying, screw it, I'm going to buy this thing, throw it in that project. If it doesn't work, I'll change it out. But I want to try this in a live environment.
I've done
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have all three. I don't have sandbox ever.
You don't have an official one?
No.
We do.
And
at Western, it's just a bunch of
it's either
I'm sand on the floor.
I'm going to try it out ahead of time. Or it's all in. Let's see what happens. Most time it works out. Most time.
So related to the all in, let's see what happens. What is the let's say highest risk project we've done that on?
Oh boy.
Not testing or what do you mean not done?
Testing something that you haven't, using something that you haven't fully tested to.
The press box. We just moved an entire press box and I put in a brand new mixer that no one ever tested, brand new from Yamaha. It's like our main audio guy. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're like, I'm pretty sure this is solid. I'm looking at the specs. I trust Yamaha. My guy trusts it. The audio professionals around me trust it. Let's just go all in. I mean, it's a big 16, 20 grand purchase that we've never done before, but it's low risk. Everyone's different.
So
is it though?
I did the same
that craps
thing.
out during game day?
Yeah, high stakes.
Right, Jamie, so what's your high stakes spot?
Well, when we built, statute of limitations are over, right? I'll blame Chris because he was here when it happened. But remember, when we did one of the building renovations, we were really going down the Crestron route. We were going to do it because DM was the most solid thing at the time. They were the most solid HD-based T. And so what we did, we were like, okay, well, Crestron's the best. Wink, wink. And so we went all in. And you know what? You can buy a 22-inch touch panel that's also the monitor, and you can connect it to this processor so that you can run the whole room through the processor with the. So we did the DVP-HD thing with that big 22-inch touch screen, because I've
done that once. I've been just testing that once
for the entire building. So we had 5 of these rooms because it's Crestron. It's going to work. And then a year later. We bypassed it. It didn't work well. We had already bought secondary touch panel.
Work well.
Yep.
I wanted that to work so bad.
Oh, we did. And then I finally called them and I was talking to engineers, and finally I got 1 or 2 of the engineers, and they were just like, dude, it's never going to happen.
It worked. It just didn't work to our. We had one and people used it.
The reliability and performance wasn't there. So
exactly. I would agree with that.
And you had to buy that. Was it like
channels? They came out were like, that was a dog product.
That goes back to my point, though. If you bought that and you tested it day one and it worked for 24 hours, what is your limitations on bench testing something and time input to get the result out?
You could tell pretty quick, though. Like
I think that one in particular probably should have been pre-built, pre-tested for a period of time, even if it was a period of time, because like Larry said, it was pretty evident right away that this was a no-go.
Yeah.
But we were all new. I was new to it, right? We had been all AMX before, and then we were looking at Extron, and Crestron, they're the industry leader. Well, in a lot of things they were, not this thing. And now it's been, 12 years, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Everybody makes
13 years, yeah.
Good product and everybody makes bad product, like car manufacturers. It's just sometimes.
I look back at the price tag that we just had sitting there, and you're like, oh my god,
wasn't
we wasted
you had used
$60,000 on that stuff.
It was like only specific monitors would work, and they were like $12,000 a piece or something. And
you had to buy them from them, and it wasn't a direct connection. You had to run it so out of the DVP-HD into a DM transmitter that could send DM only to the display, and it was just not good. And shortly after that, they came out with, what was the other one, like the DGE2.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like immediately they had the new product. And like, you should have bought that. Like, it didn't
I was going to say,
exist.
because years later, I did something similar, leveraging a 22-inch screen and a DGE to do the interface for it, and that did work fine. But
that one was better,
yeah,
but not the DVP HD. It did not.
I do remember that.
But that's my that's my example of like, I should have, I trusted it, and I went big.
All this is just managing. It's just managing risk based upon time and money. And you evaluate that based upon how many mistakes you're going to make, monetarily or time.
Larry, what's your high stakes
whoopsie
initial rollout of something that hey, maybe it went well. I don't know. I mean,
I don't tend to put brand new stuff in really high stake places. I tend to do the IT conference spaces. If I'm testing something that, that's crap, I need to pull it back out. And so I'll do that. And then our VP of whatever will be using the space, and I'll get a call
VP
in the
of
middle.
whatever. I don't know if we have that position here.
We have several of those here.
Justin's the VP of button press continuity today.
And so I'll get those calls in the middle of their meeting saying, hey, your stuff doesn't work. And so that's like my only high stakes, but it's like, but it's my spaces, so I can go fix it immediately. But it's still like I'm starting to not like that level of risk just because of the exposure it gives me.
Eat the food that you're cooking kind of thing.
I mean, I want to innovate. I want to get
do you mean
new products out there.
Is that the phrase you're looking for, Justin?
And that's the safe place, but yeah.
I mean, if that's what they say in Wyoming.
I am, now that I have to own the decisions. Before somebody else got yelled at. Yeah. Now it's me. I don't have nobody to pass the buck to. So I'm a little less willing to just roll it out. But boy, back in the day when I was the only one, shoot.
New stuff all the time.
Just do it. Let's find out what happens.
All right. Well, I will share that one of the first, I was, if not, was it the first project or shortly after? I believe it was the first QSYS project I rolled out was our president's boardroom, his president's conference room. Just went big. Works great. He's happy. He's clam. Still working great. You guys all suck. Get your shit together.
That's what I'm saying.
You have better stories. I don't. You're holding back.
No, it's been working great. I went
for
big
that
on that
one.
Yeah.
You're holding back.
I
had successes
up,
too.
so.
I have tons of successes.
Oh yeah.
But that's the one that kicked me in the nards.
Yeah, but I was migrating to an entire new control system, entire new ecosystem during COVID when you couldn't even get the stuff, and half the things I had to do, like little roles.
Look.
Child's play.
If you have 17 different control systems on campus, you don't
Which
have to
one
ever
more?
worry about.
Okay.
Yeah, go to no standards like Jamie and I.
Go to open source
It's
control.
got many standards.
I've got tons of standards.
Yes, exactly.
We are truly an in-house integration firm. Bring it to us, we'll integrate. Let's go.
That's us. Yeah. Whether we like it or not.
So one last real quick thing on bench testing I wanted to bring up, or on testing gear, on how that process and whatnot. I mean, and we've talked about sharing our results with each other because I think we all mutually trust our feedback. So like Larry, you were talking about, you're using this new USB switcher that does USB-C and HDMI and all this stuff. I trust your input. If you're like, hey, I've used this for a couple of months, it works great, then I'm good with that.
I also trusted Jamie on his NDI, so
it works fine.
It does not.
I didn't trust that.
It does not work fine.
It works fine.
It does not. You lie. You lie for
maybe
those
you're
teeth.
in the wrong environment.
What about
you told us it doesn't
What
work.
do you mean the wrong environment? Like I'm in the wrong church? I'm in the wrong classroom? Like it
Maybe
works
Jesus
better.
doesn't like your network.
They like most of my networks.
So what about that sort of process where we hear about somebody else testing something or somebody else's experience? Do we trust that do we take that at face value, or do we is this a Reagan style trust but verify?
Most of the time.
That sounds interesting. Let me get one and do my own work with it.
I trust you nerds most of the time.
Yes. I mean, because I would have never have tried the Catchbox thing, right?
I'm trying one of those because of you nerds.
Yeah, just recently. That's one of the things that because I never really bought in. I mean, I liked the throwable mic, but it wasn't something I was buying a ton of. I just, whenever I needed one. So I wasn't paying attention to that. And now I'm like, because Larry brought it up and we talked about it. I think now, for any of our listeners who aren't doing this already, find that group of people that will, whether it's us or somebody else, that will look at you and just say, hey man, that's got like, what's Mark say? It's got all the features you want, but none of the ones you need.
Yep. And
because somebody else, in Justin's case, like he can't spend all that money, but I've got 5 of them, and I'm like, look, 4 of them didn't work. At least he now knows. But I think find somebody out there, go and talk to them and find out what were their troubles, what did they regret. You're not going to get a lot of some of that feedback from the manufacturers. Because we all know we're a little bit different deployments.
No, you're using it wrong. You configured it wrong. Yeah.
Or why didn't you get one of these instead? Like, well, I love that question. It's because you didn't physically own it and deploy it.
Because it came out yesterday.
Yeah, last week.
And it costs 5 times as much.
Oh yeah, when this was spec'd a year and a half ago. I got that from somebody complaining about from a manufacturer asking, why did I do this other competing manufacturer's thing over here? Like, because that was specified a year and a half, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah,
your thing started shipping last month, so cool it.
And so I think since we've started getting together and doing things, not even the show, but before that, to be able to have a small group of people that you could bounce those ideas off of, and they at least give you a heads up, like watch out for this because that one almost got me, or you're on an island network, gonna work great. Put that on the enterprise. I know.
I create additional VLANs just to piss off Mark. Well, there's 27 VLANs on that switch.
But I deploy
on a 24 port switch
all day long, every day, and I don't have any issues with it.
I lag them together for more VLANs. It's great.
But that's in my particular use case, and I guess
fair enough. So it sounds like we all
broken.
do some level of testing. Whether we want to call that bench testing or not, we do some level of formal. I'm going to see if this thing works before I install it, or maybe we install it as part of a low risk project or in a low risk space.
Yeah, we let the students and teachers test it.
And I've done that in limited things where I'm rebuilding campus right now, and I've done over 100 spaces as part of that. And I picked 3 early on. I'm going to do 3 like this to get feedback on it. But it was there was some new stuff I snuck in there as well. But it's it was to mitigate some risk on that. That said, I didn't really have concerns, so I just went with it. But any last thoughts on bench testing or on testing gear or on our processes or where we're doing that or any of that last bits and pieces?
You should probably
we're all doing it to some extent,
and you should probably not listen to us on how we're doing it.
We gave like 4 very different opinions on that, Justin.
Yeah, one of us has to be doing it right.
I don't think any of us are doing it correctly. Correct.
When you say correct, you mean like industry best practice, like all the integrators claim they do.
Yeah, like full
which we know they're not doing.
Like no one really even does that.
No,
I think have limits in what you're trying to test. Like, do you really care the total throughput of some things? Like,
I'll give a quick example.
Sometimes we don't need to. I mean, we just don't need to know.
Yeah, I'll give a quick example. I was testing one aspect of a product or of a product line. Their AV over IP encoders and decoders, and they can, you can also dump USB devices in there and send the USB along that parallel stream coming back. Okay, well, what type of USB devices? Only HID for KVM stuff, because a lot of them do that. Or can I dump in a straight camera right off, naked, right off the back of that camera and see what happens?
Whoa.
And that's what we did. We set up like 3 computers and 3 decoders and just plugged the camera just straight into the back and just what's going to happen? Because I don't know, but we did a little hour-long test with that, and we're satisfied to the point we're like, holy crap, that works the way we wanted it to, and it does switching, and it when it breaks that stuff, it's doing it right. Holy shnikes! So yeah, that was worth the hour of setup and hour of testing. But sometimes manufacturer documentation is a little, let's say, sketchy and that stuff.
Especially if it's a new product. It's like,
no, these were not.
We're not really sure what this does yet.
This is a line that's been out for like at least 2 years or so, and you're just like, wait, when you say you could just send USB and switch between, what do you mean by that? Because not buying that. So. All right. Well, if no last thoughts, then we're going to roll out of here. We'll be back next month to talk about something else in about a month or so. But look for this to be published on the 1st of August, when you guys are all right in the middle of all your last-minute summer projects, except for Larry, who had them all done 6 months ago.
Pretty much, yeah.
Everybody will be in the first phase of their testing cycle.
That's right.
Yeah. These
What
rooms
testing?
do not work.
Our testing begins during this semester.
Thanks for putting up with yet another episode of AV SuperFriends On Topic. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at avsuperfriends.com.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.